Alright, how's it going everyone? Hope you're all doing well. So, the Undisputed Beta is over and done with now, and a lot of people have, well, people who tested it have put up a kind of like a honest opinions video and overall thoughts, kind of slash review of their experience over the 3 days that it was on over the weekend, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I just thought I'd throw my hat in the ring, pardon the pun, and do like a pros and cons, things that I liked, things that I didn't like, and I'm fully aware that it's a beta. So the main purpose of it was just for the online stress test for the servers. I do get that, and let's face it, if we're only allowed to just talk about that, then it's a very, very short video, isn't it? And if that's all we're allowed to talk about, then there's not really much positive to say about it, I think, because there wasn't enough time, I think, for them to get it sussed out and to get it like polished. 3 days is not enough for 3 hours a night, and I know they extended it on the last day by an hour or two, but if you'd ask me, they should have done the entire weekend. So not just 3 hours on a Friday, not 3 hours on a Saturday. It should have been like at such a time on Friday, finishing on at such a time on Sunday. Just to give you another comparison to something else, I was playing the Hitman 3 Freelancer beta, which launched, was on the Thursday, so it was a day before the Undisputed one went live. And their beta lasted from Thursday till Monday, and it was the whole weekend. And I know it's a different kind of thing, they weren't doing an online stress test, but like, just let the whole weekend pan out, just so, because, you know, maybe people can't get access because they're out, or they're busy, or they're at work, you know what I mean, and they can't get in that 3 hour window. Anyway, I feel sorry for people like Paul, what's his name, Marshall Mind. I watched his video and he said he got one match out of this entire thing, and I watched his sort of review of his experience, and bless the lad, he only got fucking one match out of it. And there's some people who didn't get to play at all, whether they just couldn't make it, or they don't have a PC and they're only on consoles and they don't have access to Steam, do you know what I mean? So it needs to go longer. I think they need to do another one, because the way it ended, at least for me, on that third day, the servers were in a shit state like they were on the first day. I know they evened out on the second day, and there was some people who said that they'd improved for them on the third day, but it wasn't across the board. I was seeing a lot of people complaining in the States, I was seeing a lot of people complaining in the UK, that on the third day it was still in a shit state. So, and they might already be planning to do this, that this might just be an initial test for them, and they might say, okay, we're going to do another round of tests. Like, I hope they are, and I feel like they need to. And also, the more people they have getting involved, the more it's going to stress the servers, you know, and this is, I think, something you want fucking boxed off early, do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, we've done all the online shit, the online shit's perfect where we need it, now let's address everything else. So, like, fucking whatever, punches, animation, is there gonna, what's the career mode like, are we gonna have, you know, all the questions that people are actually asking, apart from is the online gonna be stable? So let me see, I've just got bullet pointed notes here, so I might be jumping around all over the place. I am going to be making comparisons to Fight Night, like a couple of the Fight Night games, and some people might roll their eyes at that, but the fact of the matter is, there's not really many boxing games out there to, like, I don't want to say compare as if one's better than the other, but like, Fight Night there's a reason Fight Night is such a beloved franchise by the fans, and it's been going for, well, Fight Night Champion, what ended in, I know it's still got an online presence today, but it came out in something like 2010, 2011, around about that time, and people are still playing that today, and that was the last entry we've had from a Fight Night game. So there's a reason why those games are really so, even right down to the first one, Fight Night 2004, like, I was playing that recently, and they all still hold up. Fight Night 2004, Fight Night 2, 3, 4, and then Champion, they're all fucking great games, and they all do something really well, you know what I mean? So it's okay to compare them, and just, you know, if I was Steel City and I was looking at Fight Night, I'd be like, okay, that series does some great things, so why not steal from them? But, like, do you know what I mean? Let's do that, as if it's worked for them, it'll work for us anyway. Just letting you know, just in case people are like, oh, it's not Fight Night, stop comparing it to Fight Night. I'm like, it's okay to do that, there's nothing wrong with that. So the first thing, that was I'll start off on a negative, and we'll try and lean towards more the positive later on. And I know some people can't stand fucking negativity, they burst into flames when they hear it, but it needs to be addressed if you're going to constructively criticize things to make it more polished in the future. It needs to be done. And the developers want feedback, so this is feedback as far as I'm concerned. So the lag, that was the big one for most people, and overall it didn't do too well, like I said. And it affects so many things when it comes to online play. You know what I mean? The obvious, like the punches, the hit detection, the combos not coming out as well as you'd like. There's like phantom shots coming out, so maybe you like get double or triple left hooks. Or punches come on, unless you're just deliberately spamming fucking double and triple fucking left-handed shots, like a fucking 1,000-hand slap like E-Honda, do you know what I mean? Unless you're deliberately trying to do that, but I was getting a lot of phantom shots coming out, and I was consciously trying to play this game, like, throwing combinations like I would use in a sparring session, do you know what I mean? And I'm pleased to see that a lot of you have commented on, I think it was me What a War video, and said they really liked how I was throwing the combos, and it was sort of the best video they've seen in a display of the striking, and it actually looked like an actual boxing match, so I really appreciate that somebody's had the eye for that. You know, I was consciously trying to do that as I was recording that video, and all the others. So yeah, the lag, it affects so many things, do you know what I mean? And that's why there's not really much to talk about it. We need more time, we need more testing time, like I said at the beginning, to get this. They should stop doing the beta test when they're like, okay, there's no more complaints coming in of lag, or the very small minority complaining about lag, but the majority are like, it's pretty much sorted, you know what I mean? And I know it's never going to be perfect, but they need to, again, another round of testing. I think that'll be welcomed by everyone, and there's a lot of people who are just itching to play the game again. You know, some of us are having like a bit of withdrawal, so we're like, what do we do now? Fucking the beta's gone offline. Anyway, next thing I'm going to jump to, the commentary. It was alright, obviously, because it was fresh when you started playing, it was new, but it got fucking repetitive really, really quickly. It just felt like, you know, I mean, it's almost become like a meme now, you know, surely he's gonna get a world title shot line, which was happening like every fucking couple of seconds to me. I fucking hearing that shit in me sleep. You're like waking up sweating like Vietnam flashbacks, because I was hearing that in me fucking sleep. It sounded like someone had like a sound, like a four sounds on a soundboard, and they were just pressing the fucking world title shot button over and over again. I know I'm talking hyperbole, but you get the idea. It was coming way too often, some certain commentary. One's in between rounds as well, something like your head and your heart. You gotta go with your head and your... I was hearing that fucking shitloads as well. There was a lot of double audio, so like two lines of commentary overlapping each other, and it was like really distracting, you know. So there's like that's like a technical fuck up. That's not even to do with, it's just shitty commentary being recorded, and it's not shit. Like the two fellas who, you know, I can't remember their names, like, but they commentate on the boxing anyway, you know. But just when you hear the commentary in something like Fight Night Champion, it's between Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas. It's way more conversational, like a real boxing match. I feel like, you know, it's like you get Teddy Atlas going off on his long, like, one of his many analogies that he likes to do, and they're fucking great, you know, as you play in the game, like typical Teddy Atlas, you know, and he's got that like pedigree as being a coach, you know what I mean, fucking Tyson's cornerman and all that stuff at one point, and Joe Tessitore being the play by what is it, like the coloured commentary guy who's kind of like not into the technical, he's like calling the fucking commercials and shit, you know, like John Anik in the UFC and stuff like that, but he's really good at it. But them two, the way they bounced off each other, and maybe this is just like a small amount of the commentary just for the beta, maybe there's more, but I'm like, why would you hold the commentary back? Why would you just think, we'll just streamline the commentary just for the beta? Like, if you ask me, that's the commentary that we've got, do you know what I mean? And I know we've not aired all of it, because we've not aired, like, not seen all the things that are in the game and stuff like that, but yeah, it just got super repetitive super quickly, so I hope there's plenty more of it, and it's more diverse, the commentary, and it's more varied, and it's not as... we're not airing the same fucking shit over and over again, because I'll just end up fucking turning that off, and I started to towards the end. It was just doing me head in. But, which is a shame, because I love hearing the commentary in Fight Night. Speaking of audio, cornerman dialogue, I felt like it was just like a void of sound in the corner when you went back to the corner. The cornermen were making like animations, like they were shooting at you with like finger guns. But there needs to be some kind of like, I don't know, talking to the fighter. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, for example, if you're down on the scorecards, you know, a bit of like hyping you up, you know, like you'd see in the fight. It's like, come on, kid, you're down. You got to pull your head out your ass, and you've got to win this one, or you got to knock him out. You can't win by points now. You got to get the knockout, you know, and stuff like that. Again, Fight Night was great at this. That had stuff like that. Or maybe your fighter's got a fucking shitload of swelling on one side of his, like on the left side of his face. And they're like, keep that left hand up, kid. Don't take any more shots on that left side, or the ref's going to stop it. Things like that, you know. What's another one? Even if you're winning, it's like, oh, you're whooping this guy. It's in the bag, but don't get too overconfident. You know, just anything would have been better than nothing, than them just standing there. Maybe it's to come down the line. Maybe they've not recorded it yet. Maybe they haven't even. Maybe they don't fucking intend to. Do you know what I mean? But it'd just be nice to see. Because it was like an awkward fucking silence when you went back to the corner. There was a little bit of cornerman dialogue. Sorry, not cornerman dialogue, commentary dialogue. But again, that head in your heart line that kept coming out, and that was the only sort of bit of vocal audio that was in the corners when you went back there during the rounds. I don't know. I know we didn't see this in the beta, but I don't know if it's coming at all. But during as the round ends and they go back to the corner, are we going to get any like replays or highlights of any good action that happened during the round? You know, like significant shots, like kind of like they do in the UFC games of old, like the Undisputed games. And I'm not sure if they do it in the modern UFC. I think they do. I haven't played one of them for a long time. But yeah, maybe some highlights. I don't know if ring girls are a thing anymore. I don't know if they've been fucking cancelled. I don't know. Because, I don't know, people think it's fucking sexist or whatever, but I don't know, are we going to get anything like that? I've seen no models of like women or anything like that, so I don't think we're going to be getting them. But anything, even just fucking replays of fucking shots being thrown will be enough, you know? Next thing, the judging was kept coming up, and I've seen in a lot of videos. It was a funny one. There was fights that I won. There was fights that I lost that I think I should have won. And who gives a fuck? It's just a beta, do you know what I mean? But just for the sake of being immersed into the game, there's fights that I lost that I thought I should have won, because I was like, oh, I was landing way more shots there. And there was fights that I won that I thought I should have lost. To be honest, you know, at the end of the fight, I was like, oh, I don't think I did the better there. Like, I think that guy fucking. This is when it went to decisions, obviously. I didn't actually get any stoppages during my time with the game, or any KOs. I just didn't get any. I was like barely throwing any power shots. I was playing it like I was playing Fight Night Champion. But yeah, the judging, you know, it was weird. I've seen a lot of people commenting who might be better at scoring fights. I'm shit at scoring fights. You know, when I watch like K1 or the UFC or boxing, half of the time I'm just so immersed in the fight, I'm not keeping track of who's winning, unless it's like obviously clear cut and it's like, oh, that was a clear win. But like just trying to keep track of, I'm just like, oh, fucking hell, what is, you know, I'm immersed in the fight half the time, and most of the time I'm not keeping track of who's winning. But where am I? I've lost my place. Yeah, so the judging, that was like an iffy one. Oh, sorry, that's what I was going to say. Some people were commenting and saying it was more like Olympic style judging. I've seen that comment come up a few times. The fights that I did lose that I thought I'd won, because I was only throwing normal strikes and I wasn't throwing excuse me, and I wasn't throwing power shots with the R1 button. So all my strikes were just normal strikes and then counters as normal strikes. So when the flash happens on screen. So, and when I lost one of those fights, the opponent that I was facing was throwing shitloads of power shots, and obviously power shots are obviously going to do more damage. So, and then that person won, even though my strike output was like more accurate and I was landing more. But I'm like, did they judge it on power damage then? Because I had more damage on me face off the power shots, and even though I'd landed more volume, they weren't as hard as shots as the power shots. That's the only thing I could conclude. Maybe they were focusing on like damage and shots rather than volume, which is a debate that actually comes up when you see some fights. Sometimes it's like, you know, does volumetric striking beat out significant, like, fewer strikes but power strikes? I don't know. But yeah, the judging was something I've noticed come up, so I just thought I'd share that as well. I felt like, unfortunately, the way I know people are talking about like damage and like the lack of damage that some of the shots did. I felt like the game rewarded spamming a little bit. Do you know what I mean? And if you don't believe that, go and watch one of the videos I put up. I think it's titled "What a War," and you'll see like at the halfway point in that fight, I started taking loads of damage on the right side of the face from my opponent's left hooks. And once the opponent realised the swelling was coming up, and you know the swelling icon on the UI at the bottom of the screen had turned orange, he was just going fucking left hook mental. Do you know what I mean? It was just spamming left hooks like he'd glued his fucking his button down, and it was just left hooks again, like Honda doing the 1,000-hand fucking slap. Do you know what I mean? And I get it, it's more damage, so I'm obviously going to get rocked even quicker on the damage side, which is normally how it works in these games. But I was trying to counter him because I knew he was throwing loads of left hooks. But when I was hitting him and he was depleting his fucking stamina bar as well, and I was countering him after that, and nothing was happening. I couldn't get him off me. His forward pressure was relentless, and I wasn't countering him every time he did it because I was just so immersed in the action I didn't even realise what was happening. And I just tried not to lose on camera, you know what I mean? On the recording, I was immersed in the game, but I was hitting him with fucking shitloads of counter shots, especially when his stamina bar was low, either to the head or to the body. And the damage on the counters needs to be in a place where it stops people from spamming. So if I'm there spamming on you, and I'm just fucking stood there spamming combos, and you just fucking smash me with a boss counter and my stamina just disappears, I've got to be like, oh shit, I can't keep doing that because he's just going to counter me. That counter put me in a stun state because I was just standing there swinging mindlessly. But there was no threat of the counter putting anyone in danger, you know what I mean? And that needs to change to stop people from playing recklessly. Do you know, it's like, you know, that's in the UFC. If you just, like, even in, again, comparison here, but Fight Night Champion, if I was to just stand there and just empty the gas tank, like, deplete my stamina bar by just wailing on you with strikes, and then you just slip out the way and hit me with, like, a body counter body shot, there's a good chance that's going to put me in a stun state because I've got fuck all stamina. And then that's on me to go, oh, I can't do that again because I'm going to get fucking put in a stun state again for mindlessly just throwing shots with no stamina. So the counter damage needed upping because it just felt like there was no payoff for playing patiently and for having good reactions to slip or go underneath shots and then land your own shot. It just felt like, well, what's the point in doing it then if he's just going to fucking eat them? So again, that needs to, maybe a bit of tweaking with the counter damage. And they were, like I say, they were all counters with just normal punch counters. They weren't power shot counters, one or two maybe, but like I say, I was throwing mainly just normal shots without holding the R1 button. Talking about, so spamming, I felt like it rewarded spammers, unfortunately, and I think that's fucking gotta go, you know what I mean? While we're on the subject of stamina, you need to be punished when that's empty. You know what I mean? If you're, like I just said then, if you're throwing shitloads of strikes and you've got no stamina and you take a shot, it needs to put you on fucking up shit creek without a paddle. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so you learn from it. You're like, I can't keep doing that. It just looks like fucking rock'em sock'em robots. A lot of people have said when it's just, you're just standing there. And I know that depends on who you watch and play the game, because some people will just like walk to the center and they've got like no sense of like what a boxing match should look like, you know, and they'll just walk to the middle and just fucking start throwing just bolos at each other, do you know what I mean? But there's no like moving in and out, there's no getting clocked and thinking, oh, I'll step back there, I'm in range there, I need to just pull out a little bit. And but you know, it does look like rock'em sock'em robots if you've just got two people who sort of just want to walk to the center and just knock fuck out of one another. The next point I wanted to bring up was movement speed when being rocked or being gassed was way too fast, and you're able to just sort of just walk away. As long as you're not backed up against the ropes or anything like that, or trapped in a corner, you were able to just walk away and get out of it. If you were rocked, and also if you were fatigued, like if you depleted your stamina bar, you could just walk backwards at your normal pace. And just recover your stamina. There was no sort of, and I'm going to make another Fight Night comparison, but we have to do it. In Fight Night, if you deplete your stamina, your character's animation changes, so their hands will drop, they'll start taking like big breaths, the shoulders will like hunch forward. You get a clear visual indicator when someone's gassed, you know what I mean? Like, especially if you want to play with no HUD. That's one of the reasons, you know, it's like so you can have a visual indicator without the HUD telling you, okay, there's actually no fucking stamina, so you can see it on the boxer's demeanour, you know what I mean? His mouth's fucking wide open, you can hear audio cues of him panting. The hands have dropped for a couple of seconds, and then when the stamina recovers again, he's back up to, like, you know, more technical stance, you know, protecting the chin and all that stuff, you know, like. So the footage that you're looking at now is me getting rocked in one of the fights, and there's fucking E Honda throwing the left hand over and over again. And you can see I'm just walking backwards. Here we are again. I've just got it on loop just so I can talk over it. Look at me, I'm just walking back. Look how quickly he's trying to throw punches and I'm nowhere near him. Look. Like, obviously it's going to have to be fine-tuned, because if you're walking back too slowly, then there's fucking no escape, and you're pretty much just going down, unless you've just got, like, perfect defense and you're just blocking all the shots. But so there needs to be some movement and some way for you to try and escape. But it just felt a little bit too quick. I remember even as I was playing it was like, oh, I can just walk backwards and just get out of this. But also, if you look here, like, he's trying to fucking murder me here, and he's going up. Stamina's going down. Stamina's going down. Look, he's got nothing left here, and then I hit him with a counter. This is actually a power shot to the body coming up now. He's got no stamina. Bang. Look at that. Right on the fucking body shot, and he had fuck all stamina. So that's where he should have been put on Queer Street, and you know what I'm saying? So there was an example in action there of having no stamina and then getting it with like a good shot, you know? And he's just back to normal. I didn't let the clip roll on, but... So that was another thing, I guess. That's going to have to take a bit of fine tweaking, that the amount of how quickly you can move when you're rocked to recover, and then your stamina, lack of stamina, movement speed needs to be slowed a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So you're not just carelessly wasting your fucking stamina like that, and it's like, it's important for your agility to have good movement and not just blow your load like that. And let's see, look at him, he's just hopping around after me with fucking... It's only his punches that are slowing down there, that's it. His movement speed's the same. So I think that was that. Let's just see, I go over my notes. Yeah, so I'll leave that one there. There's not really much to talk about with that one. Okay, the next thing on my list is hitboxes or hit detection. There was a couple of times I was playing and I either threw a shot or I got hit with a shot, and you could see that it clearly didn't connect. I've actually got some footage here of one of my fights, and it actually put me in a rocked state. So I think this is gonna... Well, I've just got this on repeat again. So there you can see Gatty threw one. That was me playing as Gatty. I threw... You can see it again now in slow-mo. Power left hook, and there's a gap. See there? It didn't even land, and now this one, I actually got rocked off this, and it's going to come round again in a slow-mo. But shit like this, that could potentially lose you the fight. Do you know what I mean? Because a hitbox was not on. It didn't even hit him there. Like, I didn't even take it. Just went just in front of the forehead, but Mickey Ward, it even made a sound like it did connect. So that's bad, that. Imagine losing, like, because a fucking shot doesn't land, but the game thinks it does. Do you know what I mean? So that's an important one, I think. The hitboxes like that, you can see it again there in slow-mo. Look at that. It just goes just in front of the face. But that's a big no-no. That needs to be tightened up a little bit. That I felt it happened a few times, and I've seen people actually losing some YouTube videos of knockout highlights of this game. And one of them was actually in one of the highlights that I saw. I didn't want to put it in this video because I didn't message the person to ask permission to use the clip. But like, I was like, fucking hell, I'd be pissed off, you know, if you were playing online, especially if it's like a fucking ranked match or whatever, and you lose because of a fucking bullshit hitbox. So I just thought that was important to show, and it wasn't just me fucking hallucinating. It's like, no, those shots are not even fucking landing. Look at that, look, way off. Yeah, so I'll leave that one there. Just thought that was one of the important ones to show. All right, so let's get on to the one that most people, I think, have got a problem with, including myself. I don't hate every one of them, but there is a few of them that I'm still not happy with. It's the punch animations, and we've got Ronda here to give us an example of shitty punch animations, if you like. Yeah, it's probably one of the most talked about things and critiques people have about this game, and I know where they're coming from. I think most of us are looking at it going, it just looks a little bit off. Do you know what I mean? It's still a little bit too stiff. I started to change my mind a little bit as I was actually playing the game. I wasn't noticing the stiffness as much as I was playing it, but it doesn't mean it wasn't there. I still am seeing it, and I was feeling it while I was playing, but it wasn't as evident as when I was actually playing, but it's definitely there. It's, I don't know what it is. It's just like, maybe it's the impact, or like, even though I felt the impact was good in a lot of areas, or the rotation, like there's a lot of rotation happening. Like, this is going to be another loop clip, by the way, so I'll come back to some of this. But what you're seeing now is actually, instead of talking about shitty looking punches, some of these are actually punches that I really like, and I'll come back to them in a sec. Yeah, it's just something's off, and we can all see it, but no one. There's a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I don't know what it is," but it, like, they haven't got the words to describe it, and I think we all feel it. Something just needs tweaking with a lot of the shots. You know what I mean? It just looks a little bit too upright and a little bit robotic. I don't know. I'm not seeing. One thing I'm not seeing is like a lot of sit down on the punches. Maybe the exception of that right straight there, but when this circles back around, in fact, I'll just jump to it now. I'll just cut, because all this is just showing you now punches that I actually, and animations that I actually like the look of. Let me just skip past this Ronda bit again. Alright, so is it just a couple of basic ones? Jab, right, straight, and a left hook. It looks a bit upright, but apart, it's not terrible. I really like that one, that check left hook. I think we'll see it again in a slow-mo. I like that right straight as well, that lean back right straight. That one there, that's, do you know what that reminds me of? Is the way Floyd does that sort of pull counter. Here we go with the check left hook. Like, watch Mickey Ward, like, take a step with his left foot there, like he's off balance there as he throws the left hook, and then the right straight. That's one of my favourite looking animations in the game, to be honest. That right straight, I just love that. It just reminds me of Floyd a lot. I like this one, the doubling up on the... Oh, I get knocked off balance there with the left hook, and then come back with the right straight. Just, he takes that little stutter step there, does Mickey Ward, as he gets it with the left hook. And I like this, left hook to the liver, and then the check left hook over the top. I think that's a good animation. I like it. Oh, and a nice, like, talking about impact, that's where I think impact looks decent. I actually remember shouting out loud when I got it with that as I was recording this clip. I just come walking in like a mincer and then just get fucking... I think I got second-hand CTE from looking at that, you know what I mean? That looks like a hard shot. So the impact in some of the shots is there. I love this one. I was thinking maybe the body shots didn't have enough lean, but looking back at this clip, it really does. Look at that. Gatti throws the right straight, and as I throw the left hook to the body, Mickey Ward automatically does like a lean and avoids the shot and then counters with the liver shot. I love that, you know what I mean? I didn't have to do any additional lean in there. This is where I think needs to change. The jab and the right straight to the body. We're going to cut back between Fight Night. Look how much lower the Fight Night level is, like the change of level. Even the step in one, look at this. Like, this is a step in jab to the body, and look how low the character gets. Look at that. And the right straight, there's barely any level change there. Like, in my head, the whole point of the level change with either a jab or a straight to the body is you can throw that strike at the opponent, and if they throw a shot at your head, you've gone underneath it. Do you know what I mean? And it's like you come back up with a shot to the fucking dome. It's similar to where it's gone back. It's going to circle back around in a minute. But it's like if you think I know this is MMA and not boxing example now, but in MMA, you get some people faking for a takedown, and then they come up top with like a left hook to the head or whatever shot to the head. Well, the whole purpose of the level change was to get somebody thinking takedown. It's like, oh, I'm going to drop my hands to get ready for the sprawl or get ready to block the takedown. And as their hands come down from the chin, a big shot happens up top. Go and look at Kevin Randleman and Mirko Cro Cop in Pride. Do you know what I mean? And I think it was a Critical Countdown 2004 or something like that. Everyone thought Kevin was going to fucking get fucking crucified in that fight, and Mirko was just constantly thinking, Randleman's a wrestler, he's going to get the fight to the ground. Randleman faked a shot, fucking come up top with the big left hook, fucking put Mirko on his back, and then fucking hammer-fisted him into next week. Won the fight. So the whole point I'm getting is, sorry, I went off on one there, but the level change on the jab and the straight to the body needs to be lower. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, I can just get hit. If I do that right straight to the body, my head is straight there to be hit again. But if we show the Fight Night, it's going to come up to the Fight Night clip in a minute. That gets way lower. Do you know what I mean? And I know we're all saying we'd like some of the animations change, but I've got this horrible feeling, that they've already done the animations. And hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully it's just, if they ever need to change any of them, they can just get back in the studio and mocap the boxer again and just like, okay, let's just go a bit lower on this shot, or let's just fucking turn the hip over a bit more. But I don't know, maybe they've already banked all the fucking animations and they're just like, okay, we've done all that now. Do you know what I mean? I hope that's not the case, because some of them just need a little bit more tweaking. Oh, there's that big fucking right straight again. Yeah, I hope they've not just boxed off the animations, because, like I say, there's some of them that need some work. If I had to pick any two of them to get sorted, it's the fucking level change on the jab and the right straight to the body. We'll just let this play out again and then I'll move on. There's that slip liver shot again. I love some of these. I'm actually really happy with a few of these. Still some I'm not happy with. Like I said, some of just the basic straight, the basic jab looks a little bit too stiff and upright, but look at that. Slips to the outside, bang, shot to the liver. Love it. I love that. That's my favourite punch in all the combat sports, is the liver shot, thanks to El Guapo Bas Rutten. So there's the jab to the body. Not as low as Fight Night. How low that gets, look. This is me in Fight Night against the GOAT, Jake Paul, in a legacy mode. There's the step-in jab. Bang. Look at that. Covers a lot of distance, and then the jab. Look how low I was getting there. The right straight, there's just not enough there. Look, my head barely moves down. Look, I'm wide open to be clipped. But then if you look at the Fight Night one, bang, bang, and then you see even the GOAT, Jake Paul, throws one. Look at that. He steps in with one. And then I get him with one back. But just how much lower the level change is there. So yeah, I think I could go on for ages about the animations. That seems to be the biggest point of contention people have with this game. And everyone's going to want something different. Just before I wrap this up on animations, I don't know if they've done like I've got a feeling they've just recorded a bunch of animations and just give them to the fighters. And that's that. You know what I mean? Everyone sort of got the same shots. But if you look, like in Fight Night Champion, when you're like creating your boxer, or not even if you're creating your boxer, if you just pick a bunch of the default like rostered fighters, depending on who you pick and what their fighting style was like in real life, if you're picking like an actual rostered boxer, like they'll have the fighting style that they sort of had when they were fighting. Or when you're creating your boxer in the creator fighter, you can pick a set category of punch styles. So you could have like power puncher. So like if you pick that one, they've got a certain stance that they'll stand a little bit like different, and there'll be a lot of hooks, a lot of uppercuts, and it'll kind of look a little sloppy, to be honest. Not what I imagine textbook, but then you'd have like fighting styles. I think it was just called textbook. Do you know what I mean? And everything's like a bit more, well, textbook. You know, the jabs are nice and straight. The hooks are like crisp and they're not like wild. Same with the uppercuts. I think you'd had a style called sniper, which is like similar to textbook, but like your default stance was kind of like the left hand was out, kind of like probing a bit, sort of. If you think of like how Conor used to fight in the UFC before he fucking went downhill, he's probing with that left hand. Like that left hand is like a rangefinder. Do you know what I mean? It's not like tucked to the chin. It's like sticking out there. And then you'd have like the speed style. So when you pick people like Sugar Ray Leonard, you know what I mean? They've got like the right hand up at the chin and the left hand a little bit lower, and they're using that like the shoulder, kind of like that left shoulder's forward, almost like ready for Philly shell, like Mayweather. And it just gives the fighter a different look. Do you know what I mean? Like just in the default stance. And what I'm getting at is, I don't know if they've done that with this game. Even if they've not done it with the actual default roster, or all the big name. Is that going to be the case in the career mode as well? Do you know what I mean? It's like, are we going to be able to pick like a sort of boxing style to give your fighter to make his stance look a bit different and stuff? I don't know. It's all been very hush hush when it comes to certain features that they've not released yet about this game. So I was just wondering about that. Are we going to see more variations on the punches? Because if you look on the Undisputed website, it's bragging, saying there's like fucking 80 punches recorded in the game. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know if there is that many. There's probably like 3 different right straights. One just when you stood still, one while you're moving forward, one while you're moving backwards, or whatever. A power version of the right straight is obviously going to look different. And then applying that to every other punch. So like applying it to the right straight, the left uppercut, the right uppercut, the left uppercut to the body, the right uppercut to the body, the right, you know what I mean? Does all that tally up to 80 punches and then they've just left it at that? I don't know. But yeah, I think I've gone on long enough with the animations. I could keep going, but I'll stop myself there. Alright, so move on to still sticking with punches in a way, but something that I would love to see incorporated into this, and the footage is coming from a game that was in 2004, had this down pat. Like, punch redirects. This was a fucking really good feature in 2004 in Fight Night, and I'll just talk as I'm looking on the screen now. I've got like clips playing at normal speed and then slow-mo, and don't worry, this is going to repeat. But watch this. Gatti's gonna throw a shot, bang, right straight at him. Look at that right hook, just went way up in the air. It got redirected. And you'll see it in a bunch of these clips. Jab to the face, sends his right straight, going up in the air. It didn't even connect. See this one. I come in with a combo, bang. Oh, I got it with one. Gatti hit me with the right straight, sent my left hook way up in the air. And it looks like the punch has weight to it because it's just fucking flailing off into the sky like that. And it looks like there's weight behind it. Do you know what I mean? And you see another one there. Watch this. Coming at Gatti, left hook. Gatti's going to throw another strike. Bang, jab. Right straight, sends the left hook way over my head. I love this feature. It's so cool when you get this happening. And this was from a game in 2004, guys. So if we can do it back then, we can fucking do it now. Do you know what I mean? And it just makes the combat look way more realistic than just like punches just hitting each other's faces all the time. You know, it just looks so realistic, I think, seeing that redirect. There's another one. Look, it's going to circle back around. Bang. Jab he's going to throw the right hook, and it's going to get redirected with a jab or a right straight. Step out of range. Right hook. Look at that. Just went straight up in the air. I love this feature. I could watch that all day. Let's see this one. Right straight to the body. Gatti's probably going to throw a strike. Oh, it's me. I got redirected. My jab went up in the air then. See what we've got here. Another one. But that's... You know, the left hook from Gatti just goes flying up in the air. Look at that. 1-2 to the stomach. What, that one actually hits him in the head. Left hook coming in. Jab to the face. Just sends it fucking west. I love that feature. And I think something like that. I can't remember. I did see one YouTuber talking about that. It might have been Martial Mind. I can't remember. But as soon as I heard them say it, I was like, yes, I'm glad someone's mentioned that. So I fucking booted up Fight Night 2004. And I was like, I've got to get footage of this to show people that it was done. You know, nearly, well, all that time ago, nearly 20 years ago. Do you know what I mean? So if we can do it then, and it just looks way better. Do you know what I mean? It just looks more realistic. So hopefully we can incorporate something like this into the game because it just looks fucking awesome. Look at that. Bang, left hook just goes nowhere. Just makes him look stupid, you know? Yeah, so definitely I thought that was an important one to get in. So I think that pretty much covers it for my overall assessment of what I experienced in the beta. Like I say, I understand it was a beta, it was primarily a stress test, but that doesn't mean that the other areas in the game are not up for any sort of constructive criticism. It's fair game if you ask me. You know, as long as you're aware the primary thing was to test the actual online connection, but still, that I think everything else is still open for fucking critique. You know what I mean? As long as it's you're not being a dickhead about it. You know, we can still comment on like, I wish the punches were different, or I wish the damage was upped, or you shouldn't be able to move so fast when you rock, like, or punches not even landing that put you in a fucking rock state. That's important shit, do you know what I mean? And that needs to be fucking addressed, because if it goes unsaid, this is what you'd end up with in the fucking finished product, and do you really want to be laying money down for bullshit like that? I fucking don't. I'm sick. I'm 38 years old, and like, I'm getting to the end of my gaming life now, personally, and this might be the last game I actually fucking spend money on, because I'm fucking sick of games getting rushed out and fucking given to us incomplete and then fucking finished later on as fucking DLC. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I like about this development team, Steel City, that it's a small fucking company, and they have really, really took their time with this, to the point where people are fed up, or some whiny people are fed up with it, and they want it to just come out. It's like, do you want them to just release it in a fucking unfinished state? I guess that's what some people are used to, games coming out half-baked, and then you're paying for the rest of it as fucking DLC. Do you know what I mean? No, I'd rather this game stay in development for another 2 years and get fucking polished to shit. Like, polished, you know, bull fucking shine polish, and then it comes out for release. And no game's going to be perfect when it's come out. Even if you fucking put all that development time, it's going to have bugs, but Why make it hard for yourself with a shitload of bugs on release when you can make it easy for yourself and have minimum bugs on release because you've fucking got them all squared away and boxed off in your development process. So Steel City, don't rush, don't give in to fucking people pressuring you. You know, like, if you probably won't even see this video, but I'm glad that you have taken the time to get this, to try and get this right. You know what I mean, and not just push it out there and fucking make a couple of quid. So I think this has got to, don't get me wrong, this needs a lot of work, this game. There's still a lot of work that needs doing, I think. There's, you know, and we've only seen and got to play a surface scratching portion of this game. We haven't seen anything of the career mode or how deep it is. Is there any deep customization? Can we change the colour of this? Can we change the colour of the gloves? Can we change the colour of that? Like the kind of the level of customization we had in something like Fight Night. You know, let me just throw this in before I forget. Blood on the fucking shorts as well. I want to see blood on the shorts. And maybe blood on the fucking ring mat as well. I don't know if that's possible. But at a bare minimum, blood on the shorts. Or like on the cuffs of the gloves, you know, on the white tape. Are we going to get any of that? Just as a little side note, I forgot to put that in. But more fucking blood. Like, I want to see... Sound like fucking blood, like a bloodborne enemy. More blood. Things like that. So yeah, there's a solid foundation here. Sorry, I segued a little bit there. There's a solid foundation to be something great with this game. But it just needs to be... Just be patient with it and get all these little kinks worked out, you know. Again, excuse me, I think another round of online testing would do well to get the servers all smooth and stuff like that, and there's no bullshit going on with there. Just to delve into fantasy a little bit, because we've not touched on it yet, maybe on the next release of a beta we could have access to maybe some single player stuff as well, just to see how the AI boxing against the AI performs. Because as much as I mean, I'm not I'll hold my hands up, I'm not an online gamer mainly. I'm more of a single player person myself. I have played games online before, but I don't play like competitively, nothing like that. I'm more of a single player gamer, so I'd want like a long and not a long, but like I want lots to do in a single player boxing game. So like Fight Night had that really good story mode, like the Andre Bishop thing. That was fucking great stuff. That was awesome. And then you had the legacy mode that I've done multiple times. You know, I did a playthrough on my channel of a legacy mode recently, and I've done that a couple of times. Not on the channel, but just in my private time. I've gone through a legacy mode in a different weight class, and it's great. You know, it's got loads of replayability and stuff like that. And you know, pick a different weight class next time or whatever. You know, but keeps you going. It just doesn't mean you'd have to just constantly play online all the time if you don't want to. So I hope we've got like a rich and full single player, you know, with like great customization, unlocks, you know, things like that, or unlocking shorts, unlocking the... I don't know what it's gonna... Like I say, we haven't heard anything. This is all just speculation, but give us something, you know what I mean? Give us a tease, Steel City. Let's see what we're going to be playing money down for. Let's see. Yeah, because I feel like this game... You know, it's not putting pressure on itself. It's just, but if you go on the Undisputed website, it's what it says about this game, and this is not my words. This is what the game is saying. It's the most authentic boxing experience. So that's quite a bold brag. You know what I mean? So having something like robotic fucking punch animations and, you know, looping fucking, you know, is he gonna get a title shot fucking audio? That's not like, you want to be cleaning that shit up a little bit. You know what I mean? If you're coming out the gate saying, this is the most authentic boxing simulation, and on the flip side of that, you've got E-Honda fucking punch spammers just throwing fucking left hooks. That doesn't look like an authentic boxing experience to me. Do you know what I mean? So, and especially like all the big names that they've managed to get for this. Like, you got the IBF things involved, the WBO, all the logos, WBC, the ring, Box Rec, all the names and the star power that they've got to be a part of this game, and they've got to come in and get scanned. Do you know what I mean? You know, Floyd's one of the fucking only main people that I'd like to see in the game who's not already in it. Do you know what I mean? And for a small development team, I think they've got some big fucking names to get on board with this. Do you know what I mean? It's great stuff, but to be coming out the gate saying you're the most authentic boxing expert, they need to get some shit boxed off and polished. Do you know what I mean? Before you can make that claim, and for people to see, oh, and I agree with you saying, you know what, yous have done it. This is the most authentic boxing experience I've seen in a game. You know what I mean? For a lot of people, Fight Night still holds that championship, and it's not going to relinquish it anytime soon. You know, it's anyway. I'll round this off now, but just big thanks to Steel City for giving people an opportunity to play. I'm sorry if you didn't get to play it. I feel gutted for you because I had a fucking blast with this game. The only thing that was really frustrating to say was the servers and not actually being able to have a smooth match. But even the fights that I was losing, I was fucking really enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? And I thought I was going to get stressed, but I was really, really enjoying it. And I'm jonesing for more of this game. I can't wait to play more. I've been playing a bunch of the Fight Night games since this has gone offline, and since the beta's gone offline, so I've been playing some Fight Night, but I can't wait for more of this. Like, I really can't. I've never been this, like I say, I'm coming to the end of my video game life now, and I sort of can't give a shit. I don't get excited about games no more, but this is probably the last game I will get excited at. I'm fucking almost 40, do you know what I mean? I've got to fucking knock gaming on the head at some time, but anyway. Thanks, Steel City. Please, please, please do another round of testing. I hope you're planning to do that. I think it'll serve you as well. Because still a lot of stuff needs work, and I'm sure you know all this. You don't need me to tell you. You've heard the community barking at you for weeks and over the past couple of days since the beta's finished. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the support on the last couple of vids. I'm fucking blown away by the amount of people that have subbed, to be honest. Thanks for dropping all the likes. Don't forget to drop a like on this one if you'd be so kind. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you next time.